Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back. My name's Brennan. I'm going to be giving you a general collective reading about the new moon in Aries that we are experiencing just now. So, right now in Ho Chi Minh City, where I'm at, it is March 25th. So, last night was the new moon. But I think people in America or around the world might still be experiencing it. So, whether or not it's the actual day of the new moon, the energy of the new moon can last anywhere from like 3 days before to 3 days after. So, I haven't posted in a while. I've been very busy. Unlike most people, my school went to online, so I'm finishing up my classes. I'm just as full time. I work 6 days a week. So before, when I was posting stuff, I had much more free time. But classes are ending, things are freeing up, so you will be seeing more from me. Without further ado, though, let's get started with the actual reading itself. So obviously, there's a lot of things going on right now. There is just so much disarray, and whether you are just staying alone, if you're someone who meditates often, if you're aware of energy, the energy is really heavy right now. I think the energy is very challenging. Every aspect of society, from the micro, from ourselves, to the meso, to our family, to the macro, to the greater societal structures that give us a sense of normalcy, all seem to be very challenged right now. And I feel with myself like everything that I try to do is met with friction and with challenges, and every plan that I try to make gets flipped upside on its head, and I'm constantly having to adapt, but not only adapt, but to work really hard, not to be overwhelmed. And so a lot of the stuff that I'll be coming up out with later, like meditations and journaling, will be about dealing with that sense of overwhelm. Because even if you're like a wellness professional like me, I still am human and I still deal with overwhelm. And the tools that I've come to be able to use, I would love to share with people. So please look out for that. Let's go ahead and jump into the reading. All right, so we're gonna do a 7 card reading. We're going to ask about the current moment in this new moon in Aries. What is on the horizon? What you should charge towards? What are the conflicts and challenges that you are facing? What needs to be released? What is the lesson for you right now? Or for the collective, actually, sorry. This is about the collective. And what is the potential outcome? So, again, this is for the collective. Whoever is tuning in, the messages that resonate with you, take them. If they sound like they're for your personal life or relationships, you can adapt them however they speak to you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it doesn't. I'm just going to be calling in messages that connect with the people who happen to be tuning in at whatever time you tune in. It doesn't have to be on a specific date. So yeah, this new moon in Aries. Aries is a fire sign. Aries is the new beginnings. It's the beginning of the zodiac sign. So it has that energy of newness in it. The Aries energy is very fiery. It's an energy of someone who knows how to get what they want, someone who knows how to charge forward into life, and they're not afraid to take risks. They're also not afraid to meet challenges and conflicts head on. And as I was saying, this is a very challenging and conflictual time. And even in our relationships, we might be feeling a bit of conflict, a bit of tension. So I think this new moon in Aries in general is calling on us to look at where do we have conflict and tension. And like a new moon always asks us, how can we bring newness? How can we bring a new energy? What can we leave behind and move towards? So this is exciting because it is a new beginning. And the sun is also in Aries now. So what is the overall current moment for the collective, Spirit? What is the overall current moment for the collective? Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, which is interesting. So I see the Four of Pentacles as a sign to like wait and not make any investments, to not do anything with your money. And this is interesting because for me personally, I'm trying to find money to spend on a ticket back home to the United States. With everything going on, I've got to just get home. And so it feels like um, these kind of big spending things that we might try to undertake, whether they are in our business, whether they are for getting an airplane home, like whatever it is, there's a sense right now of waiting. There's a sense of people are afraid to spend what they have. People are, and I see this just with the general context. This is like a sense of hoarding. It can be. This man is young and he's protective and he's trying to take care of what he cherishes. So I think a lot of people are, maybe the collective is very much like closing in on itself. The borders are closing. People are, and it doesn't feel very politicized because it's more, there's this common awareness that everything people are doing is for the good of their people. There's no animosity or reactions to like international relations for these border closures. That's what's interesting. So it feels like the whole collective right now is like trying to like gather what is theirs, gather what resources they have and hold on to them and to cherish them and to take care of them. So if you're someone that's been doing that, like now you're really saving your money. You're thinking about the long term. Now you're saving your energy and your resources and you're taking care of what really, really matters, what things you value. I think this is also like talking about value because pentacles are money, but they can also be things that we value. So people holding on to what they value, thinking really deeply about what they value. And then with the Nine of Cups, I mean, this is interesting. This to me is someone who feels accomplished and feels like they're living their dream. So, in a way, I think it could be the collective right now is sitting back and relaxing. I think that this is clear, and I don't know if that's the case for everyone. I think people are relaxing. I think people are, you know, taking this quite positively. It looks like. So yeah, I had a moment. I was second guessing my reading. I'm confused about this, and so let's see what comes out. I mean, I asked the second question, and the question was, "What is on the horizon?" And these three cards came out, which is starting to make a little more sense. So we had the Emperor, which is Aries. That's interesting. So what is on the horizon is the Emperor. Literally, the sun in Aries is on the horizon. And that means that our ability to take charge, like you look at people's responses, the government's responses in certain countries to the coronavirus. It's like they were not taking charge of the situation. And now this energy is coming on the horizon of needing to get things under control. So there's a huge sense of lack of control of all the circumstances that are happening. But what's on the horizon is this Emperor energy. The Emperor is the one who brings control to what is in disarray. The Emperor's energy is the ability to build and the ability to create something that enables one to conquer whatever it is that they face, whether you're facing insurmountable challenges or easy obstacles. Like the Emperor is the one that can overcome. So this is really positive to me, and it's really in alignment with the sign of Aries. So things are very astrologically charged right now. So if you're someone who's not into astrology, if you don't believe in that stuff, you should definitely look into it. It's really intense what's happening, and it coincides very closely with the stars. We also had on the horizon death in reverse. So this could mean many different things. I think this is interesting because we have a lot of fear of death happening. And I know that some people think it's overblown, but you know, when it's your grandmother, when it's your mother dying, then you're going to feel completely differently about this virus and about this epidemic. But with the death card in reversed, I think that this means that we will And with this, like I think that we will not suffer the losses that people are worried about. That's what I think. I think that we'll be able to get things under control. We'll be able to do things that will help mitigate the death that could potentially come from this. I think it is good that the government is taking drastic measures. That's something that needs to be taken. Finally, they're taking it seriously. And this is going to help us get out of this position of feeling stuck and doubting ourselves, feeling like this fear of death. I think that that is what's on the horizon. So that is positive for the collective. Okay. What you should charge towards? Well, what should we be charging towards as a collective? The King of Cups. So we should be charging towards a space of much more emotional maturity. It's like people are in this, like, I was talking to a friend about how it's important that we respond and not react. It's important not to scoff at all people who are taking proactive measures, who are cautious. Not everyone who is cautious is pessimistic. Not everyone who is realistic is negative. Now, there are people who are a bit sensationalized, but I think that it's important to have a sense of emotional maturity. The King of Cups is, uh, he's able to keep his feet on solid ground amidst the waters of up and down emotions. And so, right now, there's a lot of up and downs that people might be experiencing, whether it's you as a person or even just the global collective is feeling a lot of emotionally challenging things happening at this time. And so, what we should be charging towards is this King of Cups energy, this ability to empathize, this ability to listen to one another, this ability to um, not be afraid of emotions, like, but the King of Cups, he's able to like bridge what is emotional and what is spiritual and what is intuitive and what we feel with logic. And a lot of times those things are seen as separate. So it's about, there's a lot of integration happening right now. There's a lot of people like looking at politics right now. People are not able to feel all emotionally wound up in politics because there's some real things that need to happen, need to take place. So people are not at the same emotional odds with each other, Republicans and Democrats, because there's this sense of everyone's in this together. I think that this is one of the only global catastrophe, like truly global experiences that the world is sharing right now. So we should be charging towards that maturity. What are the current conflicts and challenges that we face as a collective? What are the current challenges and obstacles? So, Seven of Wands. So, Seven of Wands in reverse. So, Seven of Wands is like feeling like things are stacked up against you, but finding the grit to pull through. But with Seven in Wands in reverse, I see this as two things. I think there are two camps right now. There are the frantic people and there are the chillin' people. That's what I think. And so some people might be experiencing um, less things to be bothered by, and some people might be experiencing more. Whatever that is currently the challenge. The challenge of, I think, overall centering yourself in the midst of everything that is either adding or being subtracted from your life. All the stresses that are coming in or all the stresses that are coming out. The challenge right now is centering yourself, is centering ourselves, trying to find uh, our capacities and our abilities to actually meet the challenges that face us head on. So whether those are internal or external challenges or obstacles, it seems like you might feel like everything's just coming out of nowhere. And so the challenge right now is just centering yourself, just being balanced and looking at things again from an emotionally mature mind, not seeing things from a place of lack, but seeing like, oh, I can adapt to these things, I can figure these things out. What needs to be released in this new moon cycle for the collective? What needs to be released? Take these two. Wow. Okay, so this is clear to me. What needs to be released is this energy of looking out on greener pastures. And I feel this so much with myself. Like, I'm making big moves in my life, all kind of prompted by coronavirus. So, a lot of people, with the Page of Pentacles as well, this is like a new investment, a new business opportunity, just a new opportunity coming through. And so, with this, it's like, what needs to be released, I think, is this energy of looking out on the horizon, of looking out on that better day. Like maybe you were in a job and you're like, oh, I hate this job and I can't wait to do my dream job. I don't like this situation I'm in and I can't wait to follow my dreams in some way. But because of the circumstances of life, a lot of people are too busy, right? You're too swallowed up in work and all your responsibilities that how much time do you really have to dedicate to what is new and what is coming through? And this person is, it's a shiny new object. It's something that you're excited about, something that like really gives you inspiration. I mean, this is the energy of like when someone is given a business loan or something. It's like in the form of abundance and it hasn't quite turned into something. You still have to turn it into something, but you're excited about it. You're in awe about it. You're optimistic. You're like, I'm excited for where this can take me. And so I think that that is really what needs to end, is this looking out on the horizon and dreaming and just jumping into those things that have been on the back burner, those areas of your life that you've been too busy to explore. So that is very clear. Let's look at what is the collective lesson that we all need to learn at this time. Like, what is the collective lesson that we need to learn from this in this new moon cycle? What is the collective lesson in the new moon cycle? Collaboration. So working together to build something. So it's really just interesting. I see these. I don't know if these are just mirroring my own life, but it's so on point. Like people are going to need to work together to see their way through the challenges that have been brought forward. And so whether that is collaborating to move your online business forward, or to collaborate with family, to find financial situations, financial assistance, whatever it is, that is the lesson. Working together. So it's interesting. I feel like there's this push for us to be with ourselves, but also to come together. And so there's this big global coming together of people experiencing the effects of this virus. And so the lesson here is how we can come together, how we can share resources, how we can build solutions together, how we can communicate together, work together, like even in different government branches where there's just been such stifled energy and things have not been working together. Now, this is the time for everyone to bring their strengths to the table and work in a collective fashion. What is the potential outcome? The potential outcome for the collective of this new moon. The Tower in reverse. Interesting. So we're gonna get past this. We're gonna get past this, and this is a tower moment. And there are things that needed to come down, but maybe we weren't letting these things come down. There are big sweeping changes that needed to happen, but we weren't allowing them to happen. Um, Infrastructural changes to meet the economic realities of homelessness, the um, climate realities of like global climate change. I mean, you see people making drastic changes in drastic time. And that is what we need moving forward. The earth is not going to survive past 2050. So seeing all of these major changes and seeing where all of this money is suddenly coming from, seeing where all of this care for people's well-being is suddenly coming from, uh, to see that and see people coming together, that is the change that really needed to happen, and it wasn't happening. And we're gonna be able to move past that. That's how I see this. And then with the Empress in reverse, I think um, that means that it will be stressful. It is going to be difficult. And it won't be easy. We will have to deal with discomforts. We will have to um, deal with loss. A lot of us will lose things, whether that's money or time or energy. There's going to be a great amount of loss, um, not of life, but really this is clearly coming through as finances because this is Earth. So there's going to be a lot of loss of stability, a lot of loss of just abundance in a lot of areas and the different industries that are going to be hit. But we will make it past this. Okay. The Tower reverse could also mean that it might be elongated. I don't know. However, that resonates. So that's really interesting. And then finally, some words of wisdom from Spirit. Spirit, any other messages that we need to know about the collective and the new moon in Aries moving forward? Anything we need to know? Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot about our relationship with reciprocity, about giving and receiving right now. There's a lot in here about like the flow of money, I think, and the balanced flow of money, the relationship of reciprocity. So I think um, I see this as the wealthy and the people in power really having to help each other, like help the poor. Like that's really how I'm seeing it. Also in our own relationships, like building that relationship of help. This is about giving and taking, giving and receiving. So this is like a time to be receptive to the gifts that are coming to you, to open yourself to receiving. And when you are in an energy of giving as much as you receive, when you are in energy that everything that you give of a pure heart is really just giving to yourself. You know, like that is the universal, the divine currency. And there's many people who have not been given what they deserve, not even been given, you know, the short end of the stick when we talk about the vast populations in this world who suffer from oppression and who are not looked after, cared for by the government or by their families in whatever way. So this is really like give and receive. Everyone right now needs to give and receive and be open and receptive, and to have patience and look at things that you've maybe invested in before. Look to your savings, look to your accounts, projects that are on the back burner, and have patience. No one should be moving. I feel like no one should be moving at this time. That's what this is. Knight of Wands in reverse. So I'm feeling like this is a time of reciprocity, but also to stop all movement, and to look to things that we've invested in and to invest and to cultivate. Allow measures that are being taken to grow. So that this really matches with the new moon and the new beginning energy of Aries, of like there's a lot of new beginnings happening right now. So if you are someone who's worried about making new beginnings, this is actually quite a good time. Like I think from the ashes of everything that's being shaken will be some damn fertile soil. So overall, I'm excited. It feels like as a collective, we're all facing many challenges, but all of these challenges are helping each of us to grow. It's helping our infrastructures to grow, our governments to grow, and Aries is ultimately about meeting challenges head on, and we're in this extremely challenging time, but challenges push us. So I'm actually kind of excited to see where the other side of this moment will take us, where we will see things go. So that is the general collective reading. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Share it with someone who you think might be interested. And please take care of yourself. I am sending all the love and positive vibes to anyone who tuned in. Blessings.